Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Another day and another drama channel drama. Today we're going to be discussing in depth the thread that In Line With Elli put out back in December that people are now believing not to be true because of a tweet that was put out by T-Trigger saying that he was participating in a witch hunt, and he has also taken down his video series that he did on the doxing of Here for the Tea. Now this video is just going to be a recap of what Elli's thread was and my opinion on the statements that were made in that thread. There will also be another part to this video where I discuss all of the drama that has happened since all of this has went down. I do want to apologize in advance if any of these screenshots are out of order, because since all of this has come out, Elli has made her Twitter private, so I was not able to go back and make sure that I had all of these put out in order. Now again, these are all just my opinions on what I see from this thread. Alright, let's go ahead and get on into it. The thread starts out by saying, "After popular demand, the long-anticipated live thread where we'll collectively try to understand the motive and purpose behind a very special doxing account is here. This live thread will be long, so if you don't want to miss any updates, follow and turn your notifications on. For my new followers, a live thread is one in which I will ask everyone to participate by poll vote or by answering questions. Catch up with my previous thread here. Remember that most of the dates are in Australian time. Let's begin." April 2019, an anonymous account with a profile picture of a Jewish man replied under Here for the Tea's tweet revealing her last name. My first thought was that this was a troll account with the sole purpose of doxing her. Boy, was I wrong. What was seemingly de-anonymizing doxing took the ugliest of turns. Here for the Tea's husband was doxed, and their address was offered to anyone who DM'd the anonymous account under the pretense of pursuing the couple legally. Was targeted doxing the only purpose of this account? After reading this part of the thread, what I don't understand is why this account was never flagged and taken down as soon as they were trying to release personal information about Sam and her husband. If this account was just flagged and all this information was turned over to the police, then this thread would have never needed to happen. And I understand that Elli was just trying to help Sam get to the bottom of this information about who was trying to leak her information, but if all of this information was turned over to the police, then the police would have been able to contact Twitter and get everything that they needed to do some kind of investigation. I feel like this thread is literally just a thread that's trying to dox an account that's trying to dox somebody. But that's just my opinion. I decided to have a closer look at the message the account was trying to put out there. It was a long process, but worth every second of it. Starting today, I'm taking you down the path of understanding the purpose and goal of Hartoush. In one of their first tweets, Hartoush chose the insult shrew to refer to Here for the Tea. I was intrigued by this word choice, and I wondered if there was anything hiding behind it. First question of the live thread: do you believe that the choice of the word shrew has a deeper semantic significance? Explain your choice if you want to. 75% yes, 25% no. One of the reasons that made me believe the writer behind Hartoush is not very young was the use of the word shrew. That's because the inspiration likely comes from the Shakespearean comedy Taming of the Shrew, and this is exactly how his attempt was viewed, a way of taming. This is the first issue that I have with this thread. Just because somebody uses a word that is no longer used regularly doesn't make them an older person. It could be somebody whose grandparents constantly use this word, or even their parents use this word. Just because somebody uses the word shrew does not necessarily mean that they are older. And just because there is a very famous work by Shakespeare named Taming of the Shrew does not necessarily mean that this is where a person is getting their inspiration. This is just Elli's opinion on what she sees and what she's using to frame her narrative. If life is unsafe for Here for the Tea, it has zero to do with Judaism and most everything to do with the fact that she's an evil shrew. The amount of messages I've gotten thanking me tells me all I need to know. So here Hartoush is saying that it has nothing to do with Sam's religion, but just the way that he perceives her as a person based on past actions. But the first time Here for the Tea talked about the doxing, she mentioned security issues. The anti-Semitic dog whistles were attracting extremists. Hartoush went as far to plant hashtags that would be discovered by anti-Semites. The only thing that kept this tragedy from getting worse was the account didn't have big exposure. September 19th, this changed. During an argument with Here for the Tea, Paige retweeted the doxing account. Now here I will agree with Elli on this, including those hashtags is absolutely disgusting, but at this point that is when you need to get the police involved. This situation should have been addressed immediately with the police if it wasn't, and Sam should have taken control of the situation by herself, and this thread should have just never happened. This should have been dealt with by the police, because clearly hashtags like that are not acceptable at all. But as far as Paige retweeting that account, just because you retweet somebody doesn't mean that you go to their page and you look through all their information to see what they have tweeted out in the past. There's lots of people who will tweet out absolutely disgusting things, but then tweet out something that you think is funny, like a meme or something that you agree with. And just because you retweet that one statement does not mean that you agree with everything that they have said in the past. I knew there was a long history between these two women, but what really took me by surprise were Paige's own tweets. Out of nowhere, she brought up elitism. This is a blatant anti-Semitic dog whistle and not just a mean comment as some would think. These two tweets were also liked by the Hartoush account. To me, when I think of the word elite or elitism, I think of somebody who has money, power, status, all that. I don't think of an anti-Semitic term. So I went ahead and Googled what the term elitism meant, and here is what I found. Elitism is a belief or attitude that individuals who form an elite, a social group of people with intrinsic quality, high intellect, wealth, special skills, or experience, or more likely to be constructive to society as a whole, and therefore deserve influence or authority greater than the others. So to me, the phrase elitism has nothing to do with religious beliefs. It has all to do with what kind of money you have and what kind of power you have. And if you believe that because somebody is of a certain religion, that they have this kind of money and power, that speaks more to your characters and beliefs than it does the person making the comment. Just because somebody is Jewish does not necessarily mean that they have money and power. And also, correct me down in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Paige addressed this in her video, saying that she did not support this account. Even though they had liked her tweets and she did retweet something, she does not support them doxing Sam. The same day, a short video alleging exactly that was released. Recently, Hartoush tweeted about the account having more than one holders, something that was already obvious since he started using "we" sporadically from the beginning of the account. After finishing a thread on a completely different doxer, Hartoush felt the need to say we should look into another channel direction. He also told me he doesn't have a channel. The mention of Judaism made me wonder if there was any anti-Semitic connotation to the word shrew. I found that Shakespeare's plays were known for the use of racial slurs and that Taming of the Shrew contains sexist remarks and has been criticized for misogynistic themes. But with this point about Shakespeare's older works, a lot of Shakespeare's older works can be criticized for lots of things. So let's say, for example, Romeo and Juliet. Juliet was 13 and Romeo was supposedly 18 or 19. So if you are saying that because people are using older Shakespeare works to talk about a topic, or, well, you're the one that technically brought up Shakespeare, that means that anybody who likes the story of Romeo and Juliet supports underage dating. Shakespeare is connected to anti-Semitism, especially because of his play The Merchant of Venice. It is no surprise that Hartoush is fascinated by this and takes inspiration for insults from an anti-Semitic, misogynistic writer to attack a Jewish woman. The word shrew is today used as an anti-Semitic dog whistle for replacing the word Jew. But again, the person that brought up William Shakespeare into this conversation was Elli, not Hartoush. So I don't understand why she is automatically saying that he is taking inspiration from Shakespeare. And also, I Googled the word shrew, and I Googled, is shrew anti-Semitic? Is shrew an anti-Semitic dog whistle? And nothing popped up on my Google saying that it was. So I don't know if there's something wrong with my Google that's not showing me the correct information or what, and I'm probably on some kind of watch list after Googling all that now. The German word Kaiser derives from the Latin Caesar. Nazis took great inspiration from the Roman Empire and even taught in schools that Julius Caesar was Aryan. Combined with Hartoush's fascination for Shakespeare, and given that one of his plays was Julius Caesar, which has been adapted later to compare fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, it appears that Hartoush is interested in alt-right beliefs. Again, this is just another assumption brought up by Elli that Hartoush is obsessed with Shakespeare. I don't see any proof that he actually is. This is all just things that you're putting together, again, to frame a narrative saying that he is anti-Semitic and misogynistic. Now, do I agree with him attacking here for the tea? No. But at the same time, aren't you doing the exact same thing, trying to expose him by saying that he is anti-Semitic and misogynistic just because he doesn't like Here for the Tea? His use of Romans as his profile picture and the misogynistic and anti-Semitic reference of the shrew and his closing sentence, "Hail to the Gossip Girl," are his way of giving the Roman salute to the Jewish woman he targets as the Aryan Kaiser Julius. While analyzing the tweets of the account, I was hoping that there wouldn't be anything more disturbing to be found. I wanted this to be a sick game that stopped at targeted doxing. My issue with this statement is that this could have just been stopped at targeted doxing. When people look into things more and more, they will find a way to make things about what they want them to be about. I've had comments in my video section saying like, okay, you're looking way too into this. This is not that deep. You're just trying to like frame something that's not really there. And I can see that, yeah, sometimes I look into things and I analyze things way too much. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's about this. Maybe it's about this. And then once you start to think about that, you can turn around and frame it into something that you want it to be about. But that's just my opinion. And now private account, here for the BS, gave that away almost immediately. Hartoush is a he, and he calls himself Daddy. When I approached Here for the Tea to offer my help, I already knew that I was looking for a man. I also had in mind a limited amount of suspects. Interestingly, one of those suspects had the word daddy as part of their AVI on Twitter. And this is one of the statements that I took the biggest issue with in this entire thread. This thread is basically an attempt to basically dox somebody who is trying to dox somebody else. So what you're accusing somebody else of doing, you're turning around and doing it yourself. And you have the support of the person that the other person is trying to dox. You said that you reached out to Sam to offer your help. Now, I don't know Sam personally, but what I do know about her anyways, from what I heard, is that she does have money. So if she has such an issue with this account, there's no reason why she couldn't report it to Twitter, get the police involved, and get this person arrested if they are being anti-Semitic towards her. So I don't understand why we are trying to dox this person when this is something that really should be taken care of by Sam and Sam only, and taken the legal route. But that is everything for today's video, and I'd like to know what you think about everything about the thread in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could hit that big red subscribe button and hit that bell icon and set all of your notifications to all so you'll be notified of every time that I upload a new video. Alright, that's everything for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!